Not entertaining, not funny, very empty. The story was horrible. A guy quits his job and is looking for a new job. The movie was about a guy struggling in his professional and personal life. I hated that this movie was about a guy getting disrespected and bullied. Nobody wants to watch that. I didn't like how serious the movie was. For example, when Arvid's wife left him, he stood in front of the mirror and was punching himself in the face in a non-comedic manner. Comedy should not be like that. The movie wasn't entertaining at all. It was very boring. The movie wasn't funny. The movie felt very empty. The camera work was bad. The cast was decent, but I didn't like how Arvid's bullies looked, including their overweight wives. I don't like when bags under the actors' eyes are visible, and in this movie there was a lot of that. Visually, the movie looked bad because it was too dark and not colorful. The color didn't jump off the screen. I didn't like that there were black bars above and below the movie. The black bars always make a movie look uglier. I didn't like that the beginning of the movie was in black and white. There seemed to be no reason for it. The music was alright. Nothing noteworthy though. The music that played at the beginning by wooden flute sounded bad because the loud, high-pitched notes were painful to listen to. I liked when Arvid and the old artist were singing together, not because it sounded good, but because it felt charming. It brought a smile to my face. The set decoration was bad. The rooms where Arvid and his mother-in-law lived looked ugly. The pace of the movie was slow. The movie wasn't sexual. There were quite a few unlikable characters, like all of Arvid's colleagues who were disrespecting him. I hated the scene where the work collective had gone on a road trip, and while Arvid was dancing and singing in front of everyone, a guy threw food in his face. I hated that the bullies got away with everything they said or did. They were never punished. A scene that made me grin was when Arvid told Tiekur that his foundation was his kids. Then Tiekur's wife, who was listening in on the conversation, said, "No, no, no, you don't need a big brain for that." I like the scene where the young couple dressed for their wedding showed off to the old lady in the window, who earlier in the movie had thrown water on them for kissing under her window. I also liked after she had poured water on them, the guy threatened to break all of her windows if she peeked out again. I liked the shot where Arvid was getting a lift and was sitting in the back of a truck with more than a dozen pigs. I liked when the old artist said that only strong people are capable of being made fun of, because I also believe that to be true. The scene where the gravediggers executed their money-making scheme was clever. The scene where Arvid's boss asked him why he was smiling all the time felt awkward and out of place. There was an awkward transition when Tiekur saw the kids cutting his rug and told them to go outside, and in the next shot, they were already outside, with Tiekur and his wife watching from a window in a different part of the house. This scene felt awkward because before Tiekur noticed the kids cutting the rug, he offered Arvid a job, and the next shots were all about the kids, even though the movie was supposed to be about Arvid. There was no moral of the story. The ending wasn't good. Arvid and his wife got back together and promised to never take handouts from the wife's parents again. Then they kissed, and the old lady threw water on them from her window. There is nothing to take away from this movie. I didn't love anything.